Hi, everybody, and welcome to your 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Tim Buckley and Lauren Coleman.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching us on WFNY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app. Tim is tracking some weekend storms that are headed our way. We'll take a look at those in a second, but first, we want to get to some developing news on a 10-year-old girl who was murdered in the Triad. Investigators say it happened last night on Reidsville Drive in Reidsville. Police say the victim is a 10-year-old girl, a 5th grader at South End Elementary School. Police say she was shot in the head by a 14-year-old who was her cousin. Lieutenant Shannon Coates with the Reidsville Police Department says police arrived here on Circle Drive last night. That's where they found the girl in a home by herself with a gunshot wound to the head. They say other children were running around in the front yard and no adults were at home at the time.
It was very concerning to learn the ages involved in this. You know, it's not a normal thing that we see. We have, seen an increase like every other jurisdiction with juveniles and weapons offenses and crimes that are occurring with firearms. But at this particular age, and I've been doing this a long time, going on 29 years, and I can't remember the last time we had a 10-year-old that was involved in something as severe as this.
The 14-year-old boy is being held in a juvenile detention center charged with first-degree murder. Right now, police still don't know what led up to this incident. At this time, this still is an ongoing investigation. Rockingham County Schools released a statement following the death of the South End Elementary 5th grader. It reads in part, "We ask the public to keep the victim's family, along with students, teachers, and staff affected by this senseless tragedy in their thoughts and prayers." The district also says it is providing crisis support for students and staff. Again, this is a developing story. Keep your WFNY News 2 app close. Those users will get the latest updates and information first.
As the Queen herself did with such unswerving devotion, I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation.
King Charles III gave his first speech today as heir to the throne. Queen Elizabeth died yesterday at the age of 96. She served 70 years in that role. That is the longest in British history. For many people, this will be the first time the monarch has changed leadership. Social media, of course, buzzing about what happens next. Let's walk you through it.
We turn to several sources listed here to verify a few questions. Charles is divorced. Doesn't that disqualify him from being king? Actually, that's a big misconception that ending his first marriage to Diana Spencer was a disqualifier. It's the remarriage part to Camilla Parker Bowles that historically could have caused an issue. Because of the Royal Marriages Act of 1772, marriages of close royal family members require approval from the Queen, which she granted in this remarriage. This, plus a softening of the Church of England's stance on divorce and remarriage in 2002, kept Charles's place in the line of succession secured. The Queen also declared his wife Camilla Queen Consort once Charles became king. Why is Charles already king without a formal coronation? According to British law and the Office of the Privy Council, a new sovereign succeeds to the throne as soon as their predecessor dies. The days to come will be full of small ceremonies and official marks of his ascent to the throne, but the ceremonial coronation takes a lot of preparation and planning and might not happen for some time. So what's the line of succession now? Prince William, Charles's oldest son, is now first in line, then his children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, then Prince Harry, his kids Archie and Lilibet, then the Queen's other son, Prince Andrew, his daughter, Princess Beatrice, her daughter, Sienna, then Prince Andrew's other daughter, Princess Eugenie, and her son, August Philip. Princess Charlotte, William and Kate's daughter, has that spot on the list because of a 2013 law change. Gender no longer plays a role in the order of succession. It's just one more example of the many ways in which things changed over her great-grandmother's long reign.
So over the next week, the United Kingdom will participate in 10 days of mourning. During this time, the monarch prepares for the constitutional transition. In the meantime, Queen Elizabeth will lie in state in Westminster Hall. Buckingham Palace is expected to release those funeral plans very soon.
Now let's get to more headlines with your 4 to 5 roundup. Funeral services for 81-year-old Hetty Dawkins are tomorrow. Her family says she'll be laid to rest at Gethsemane Baptist Church, that's in High Point. A search team found Hawkins' body a week after she walked away from her home last month. For days, family, friends, and strangers came together to help look for her. Dawkins was found in a wooded area less than a mile from her home. There's now a small memorial site near the area.
Well, 15 new license plate cameras are going up in Greensboro. The City Council voted unanimously to install them last week. Greensboro Police Department say they help identify stolen cars and the suspects driving them.
The special thing about the technology is that with law enforcement purpose and justification, an officer can search these cameras quicker and make it more convenient for us to help with crime issues, mental health crisis, or any other public safety issue that we would need.
The cameras are made by a company called Flock Safety. They're installed in areas around the city based on crime data. The city leased 10 of them last year. Well, you can also expect tighter security at Guilford County High School football games tonight. The district will now have body scanners at the entrances. Last Friday, several fights erupted at a Dudley High School football game. GCS says the new protection measures aren't a result of the fights, and they say they were previously discussed. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools has had scanners at their football games since the beginning of the year.
You know, the weather this evening is great, and if you're outside for football or anything else, I really hope you enjoy it, and I would encourage you to get outside because it is so gorgeous right now. Temperatures are in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. You notice the partly cloudy sky that we're looking at over downtown Greensboro, and the humidity is really low. So it's a great day of weather. Upper 70s to right around 80 right now. We will stay there through about 6 to 7 o'clock, and then we'll start to cool down, getting into the 60s before all that long overnight tonight. The nice weather will not last into tomorrow. There are a lot of changes coming our way. We look to the south, notice all these showers and storms kind of developing across Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. That's going to be lifting to the north, and unfortunately, Saturday just continues to trend a little bit worse when it comes to the weather. I'll show you what I mean. We're waking up to cloudy skies tomorrow. On again, off again rounds of rain. Not every minute of the day, but every now and then we see these rounds of rain moving in from south to north. That's Saturday. This would be Saturday evening here. And then going into Sunday, we're still dealing with that threat of on again, off again rainfall, but I think we'll have more breaks in the action come Sunday. It's possible with all this moisture, there could even be a couple of little flood areas that we have to watch for. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, they're all wet weather days, and we'll have to keep our eyes on the sky for that. We'll keep you posted throughout the weekend, of course, and that News 2 app can really help you out when you are on the go. Heading into next week, things are looking a lot better. I think some nice days start to settle in beginning on Tuesday, but lasting all the way through Friday of next week.
Whether it's a teacher or a basketball coach or even a bus driver, most of us have a school figure who has played a major role in our lives. A general assistant at Southwest Elementary School in Guilford County is making a difference in the lives of hundreds of students. Kenyetta Williams's computer, complete with her pink keyboard and mouse, can be found in the front office of Southwest Elementary. But she isn't likely to be sitting at her computer for very long. As a general assistant, she wears many hats, like answering phones, giving students medicine they may need, and even substituting in classrooms. Thursday, Williams was named the September Guilford County Schools Employee of the Month.
I kid you not, when I walked around the corner, my first instinct was to clap too, because I didn't know what I walked in on. Like, I thought I missed something. So I was going to clap for whoever we were all clapping for. And then it was like, oh no, we're clapping for you.
Williams, called Miss K by many of her students and coworkers, was nominated by several people who worked with her during summer learning. Southwest Elementary Assistant Principal Allison Snyder says Williams is a major piece in keeping the school a well-oiled machine.
She is the most positive and energetic person, and she is always willing to lend a helping hand. So we love that. She's an amazing person to the ranch and to Cowboy Nation. So we are so thankful. Anytime there is a need, she rolls in, picks up, and is willing to get right in there with you and work. And that just keeps us all moving in the right direction.
It makes you feel good, like your heart smiles. It has to. You know, for kids to come in, like they have such a bad day at one point, they can sit down and talk to you, and to be able to turn their day around and make them feel important, like it's very impactful. I do with other people's children the same that I would want people to do for mine.
As you can see, Miss K has such a great personality. I mean, take a look at her shirt. She has a Toy Story shirt. She had a Reptar lunchbox and the little duckies on her desk. I mean, the kids, they just love her. She's full of energy.
And I used to love, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I loved always the person in the front office was always like it's almost like the first person you see, right? When you come in, and they kind of set the tone for everybody else. And she has a great attitude.
She does. And she wasn't joking when she says she doesn't sit at her desk for long. Getting B-roll of her was not an issue. Within 30 minutes, there was a student that came in that was having an allergic reaction, and she was helping them out. There was a parent that came to check out one of their children. She was making copies for teachers. She's just all over the place. I was just amazed at what she's able to do. She can just plug in wherever they need her.
Did you say she was a tutor and a first responder?
Yes, she was like, I'm the first responder at the school, so if there's
that's
medication
crazy.
that a student needs, I'm there to administer it. She tutors, she fills in as a substitute, so she does a little bit of everything. I mean, oh, you missed it. She has an actual mouse as a mouse for her computer.
She's a Swiss Army knife.
That's
what she is.
So who was a memorable school figure in your life? I asked you on my Facebook page. A lot of you weighed in here. Felicia Westry says, my typing teacher in high school opened up the world for me. Ronnie Stewart wrote, the Southern Guilford High School football coaches, being a father figure and brother figure to me in my life, taking me home after football games and practice and spending time with me. Michael Kemp says, my first male teacher in elementary school. And then Brenda Stalling says, it was my English teacher, Mr. Talley. He taught us all about the Greek gods. I've never felt more excited to go to English class than learning with Mr. Talley.
I think most people, I don't know about you, I have multiple. Like there were so many that, even my first grade teacher, because I was scared to death, going. I never went to kindergarten, so first grade was my first time going to a school, and she really, Vera Reynolds, she still lives in Mount Airy, and she was super helpful with me, made me feel good. And then when I got older, I loved my English teacher, Sally Blake, and because it kind of led to journalism for me. And then my drama coach, Don Nance, was probably my #1 influence in life.
When we had Teacher Appreciation Day, I talked about my high school history teacher, Miss Everson, how she made the assignments so much fun. We did like rap projects to talk about the Berlin Wall or to talk about the guillotine and different things of that nature. So I posted that clip on Facebook, and other teachers were weighing in saying, when they remember the assignments that you assigned them, then you know you did good.
You've done something well, that's right. My dad ended up being a school superintendent, but he always told me he missed that connection that you would have with those few students that really connect. And he said, I miss being in the trenches when he got there.
I mean, the teachers, they plant the seeds. They have the biggest impact. I really feel like they don't get the appreciation that they deserve.
They need to hear from them. Find your teacher if they're still available and tell them how much they need you.
Shoot them a message on Facebook. Slide in their DM.
We'll be back. Welcome back. You know, in less than an hour, you can walk the Midway, play games, ride rides, eat incredible food. That's because it's fair season, and the Central Carolina Fair is definitely underway. This year boasts all the usual suspects, the rides, the music, and the fun, of course. But there's one thing that people will argue over. That is, what is the best fair food? I spoke to Daryl DeGrange with the fair to shed a little light on this.
In the years past here, the number one food at the Central Carolina Fair has been turkey legs. Believe it or not, turkey legs. So we feature turkey legs. Corn dogs, funnel cakes are number 2 and 3. Pizza is number 4. Those are the top 4 food items. And again, the turkey legs, you can't miss them. You'll smell the smoke from the smoker, and people will be lined up to get them to take home.
So everybody knows you can spend some big bucks at the fair if you're not careful. And times are tight right now, but the fair, they say, we've taken all of this into consideration.
Everybody's looking for a bargain. Pricing is real important to families, and we understand that. That's why we've held our pricing from pre-pandemic levels. So we have not raised prices. And then our dollar days are, most fairs in the country went to $2 days and $3 days. We're still at $1 day.
Fun.
They're promising the deals. I mean, he was saying the dollar day is a big deal. The wristband is still the best deal if you get that. I can't remember what that price is. Don't quote me, but it gets you a lot of rides and that you qualify for. It was funny when I said that. I said, he goes, yeah, you can ride all the rides. And I said, then he goes, wait, the rides that you meet the requirements for, because he didn't want everybody thinking that you can just do anything.
You just do what you want to
Right.
do. Well, he had me at turkey legs, smoked
Right?
turkey leg. That's one of my favorite things to get at the fair. They just taste so good.
I just didn't think that shocked me. I didn't think that'd be number 1. I thought funnel cake was always number 1.
Same, because that's usually what you hear people talk about,
Yes.
funnel cake or the fried Oreos, a lot of the fried foods.
What's your favorite deep fry? Because everything's deep fried at the fair. But
I would probably have to say the fried Oreos. The first time I had a fried Oreo was at a fair like a few years ago.
me too. There's something, I can't remember. It's sweet but deep fried. What was that? They have them at...
Churros?
Yeah, that may be it. Do they deep fry ice cream? Somebody told me that's a
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, I think they deep fry just about everything. I know some fairs, there was one fair that deep fried Kool-Aid. Like they like put it in some dough and fried it. So just about everything could be fried.
The ice cream thing deep fried was really good. I can't think of anything probably worse for you, but it tasted so good.
Yeah.
I loved it. All right, we got to go. We'll be right back. Enjoy our music.
Great day to get outside, comfortable weather right now as we take a look at several of our Triad cities all at once. Greensboro, Burlington, High Point, notice the sky. It's been changing a little bit. We've had some clouds to mix in with the sunshine. Temperatures very comfortable, and it's way different than what it'll be like tomorrow. Tomorrow might be one of those inside days, I got to tell you. High pressure to the north, keeping that cool air in place and clouds filtering in overnight. It'll be a gray day of weather with on again, off again rainfall that can be expected for Saturday. It has trended to be a wetter day in our forecast. Now, Sunday on the flip side could have more breaks in the rain. Still, occasional showers are possible and even a flood risk too for both days this weekend, but more breaks in the action Sunday compared with Saturday. So bottom line, you're going to have a hard time staying dry tomorrow for all that long, but Sunday you might have a better chance to sneak in some breaks in between those showers or maybe a thunderstorm. Bottom line, a little bit of flooding can't be ruled out in parts of our area. We'll just keep you posted at News 2 app in your pocket on your phone. That'll help you stay ahead of any of those showers and downpours as well. Going into next week, still dealing with the wet weather on Monday, but it starts to get better. And notice those overnight lows getting cooler. Some fall air set to arrive by the middle and end of next week.
Well, here's your friendly reminder that it's Friday, in case you forgot. Let's kick off the weekend with some positive vibes. It's time for our Mega Malaris to tell us about the good blessings happening in your lives.
Alan got a raise at work. Alicia went back to teaching after being out for a decade and forgot how much she missed it. Darrell's daughter and granddaughter are visiting from Chicago. Yolanda is spending time with her 2-year-old granddaughter. Kim got to see her 3-year-old grandson play his first baseball game. Catherine got a new digital pressure canner and she's very excited. Cindy had an amazing birthday present. Her first grandbaby, a boy, arrived August 29th. They'll now share the special day. Ali's husband celebrated his birthday and a special milestone. His heart went from 25% to 50% functioning, and they are praising God.
There you go. Now we have to go down the line and talk about what we're thankful for.
Yes.
Well, this weekend or tomorrow, my mom's celebrating her 60th birthday.
boy.
So she's having a big
Wow.
all-white
birthday.
party. We're all gonna wear white.
cool.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. She rented out this ballroom to have it, and in lieu of gifts, she's gonna do school supplies, like a school supply drive. And my mom, she's known for being there for everybody else,
She's a
doing
teacher.
things for everyone. Yeah, she's an educator, so you can see she loves doing things for other people. The fact that she's also doing it, making it a school supply drive as well.
Do you did you stress over the gift?
I
Didn't
did.
you and I talk about
did, yes. But I think she's gonna like what I came up with. But I think parents are so hard to shop for it, especially when your parents have everything that they already need, like everything they can think of. You're like, what can I get them that will be special? But I think she's gonna like what I came up with.
Man, she trumps anything
I
have
think
to
so,
say.
too.
Yeah.
I
Because
was
mine's
gonna-
just kind of like, I'm hanging out this weekend, my wife's on a business trip, and I'm there with the kids.
Well, that's
so-
great. Remember, my 2 cents the other day was even the smallest
That's
things
true.
in life
That's
can
right.
give you
Well,
joy.
they know that if I'm in charge, there'll be a little more fast food than normal. So they're happy about that.
When I was a kid, we loved when my mom was busy.
Yeah.
Because that meant Dad cooked. And that really meant we went out to like the all-you-can-eat
Oh,
buffet.
okay.
And we just went to town on all the goodies.
Exactly right. One time she was gone, and I was so lazy, this is the truth, that I ordered DoorDash McDonald's. That's how bad it was.
But
And-
it made their day.
Oh, no, I told Lauren what they said to me was, you mean McDonald's delivered? And I said, in this case, yes, this is the greatest day of my life.
Greatest day.
It's
Number
funny how
one
the
dad.
smallest things like McDonald's just brighten up a kid's day.
Fries brought to your house. Nothing
Were they
better
still
than
hot is the question.
that.
Okay.
But they were still happy. They didn't care.
My fries never make it to my house. I always
Same.
Yes.
pick them out of the passenger seat.
Me too.
I'm always
gone.
like, I gotta wait till I can use my Chick-fil-A sauce, but you know, when I'm in the car, I'm hungry, so I just keep eating them.
You don't even
Driving
want to
like
take the
this.
time. All right, we're coming back. Stay there.
Mic check, Jalen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How do I sound? Thank you.
Hi there, welcome to your 4 to 5. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Lauren Coleman. Tim Buckley's along as well.
Hey
it's
everybody, happy
It is
Friday
Friday.
to you. Thanks for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app. Tim is tracking some storms. We're going to check in with you in a little bit, but is there anything we need to be worried about?
Well, it's just not nice. That's
Okay.
all. It's nice right now.
Today's nice.
That's right. Enjoy now.
Yes.
More from Tim in a second, but first, we head to Buckingham Palace where mourners are showing their support for Queen Elizabeth. Britain's new King Charles and his wife, the Queen Consort, walked into the palace today for the first time since the death of his mother.
She died yesterday at her Scotland home. Queen Elizabeth was 96 years old and served 70 years on the throne. That is the longest in British history. Today, King Charles paid tribute to her in his first speech as monarch.
Throughout her life, Her Majesty the Queen, my beloved mother, was an inspiration, an example to me and to all my family.
So funeral details have not yet been announced. There will be a public viewing in Scotland before the Queen is flown to London. For now, she will lie in state in Westminster Hall. The coronation of King Charles III is not expected, though, for several months.
Here at home, we're enjoying beautiful weather on this Friday afternoon. I really encourage you to get outside if you have the opportunity over the next couple of hours, because this is about as good as the weather is going to be over the next couple of days. Right now, hard to beat it, upper 70s. The important thing is that dew point really low, all the way down to 60. That low humidity is with us at the time, and we also have some gusty wind. So it kind of has a little bit of a fall feel when you are out and about, a little bit harder for you to break a sweat. Temperatures in your hometowns look just like that. Our clear sky is still here, but only going to last a couple of more hours. Notice clouds building as you move to the south, and a lot of rain showers too. This is part of tropical moisture that's surging in from the Gulf of Mexico and also from the Atlantic Ocean, and there's no tropical system or a hurricane or anything like that, but it is still coming from the tropics, and so you have to be careful when that moves our way. Sometimes we can see heavy rain develop, and for tomorrow, the morning looks like this: on again, off again, scattered showers, and then for the afternoon, maybe a couple of those could embed a thunderstorm or two. It will stay cool throughout the day and gray and damp, and then by Sunday, we're still looking at that rain chance on again, off again throughout the day, but more breaks in the action. So if you had to pick one day to try and find some outdoor time, I would say Sunday is actually looking a little bit better now than Saturday is. You might have got a buzz on your phone. We do have a flood watch in effect for this weekend. What that means is that if the rain tallies up enough, let's say 2 to 3 inches in some areas, you could see some localized flooding developing place to place. Not everybody will see that, but there is that risk at least across all of North Carolina for flooding on Saturday, and then on Sunday that shifts a little bit off to our east. 7-day looks like this. We keep that rain chance pretty high through Monday, and then that tropical moisture kicks out of here. We have really nice weather settling in after that for the middle and end of next week.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, we are learning more about a 10-year-old girl shot and killed in the Triad. Reidsville police say she was shot in the head by her 14-year-old cousin. Officers say she was taken to the hospital but died from her injuries. It happened last night on Circle Drive off of Whitworth Street. Officers say the scene was chaotic with kids running all around frantically and no adult in sight. Rockingham County School officials say the girl was a 5th grade student at South End Elementary School. They say the boy is not in the RCS school system. Authorities say he is charged with first-degree murder. Right now, they are not releasing the children's names, citing age as the reason. Funeral services for 81-year-old Hetty Dawkins are tomorrow. Her family says she'll be laid to rest at Gethsemane Baptist Church. That's in High Point. A search team found Dawkins' body a week after she walked away from her home last month. For days, family, friends, and strangers came together to help look for her. Dawkins was found in a wooded area less than a mile from her home, and there's now a small memorial near the site.
Well, the city of Greensboro's 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb has been going on for years. It was scheduled for tomorrow, but that is canceled now. The city says due to concerns for public safety on potentially wet stairs and the possibility for bad weather, the climb will not happen. Information about future events will be posted on the Greensboro Fire Department's Facebook page. Now, you can still remember the lives lost 21 years ago on 9/11 this Sunday. The community will come together to honor a Triad native who died on 9/11. Sandy Bradshaw from Rockingham County was a flight attendant on the plane that likely prevented hijackers from crashing into another location. She will be remembered with a patriotic service at West Bend Church on Albemarle Road in Asheboro. The event starts with a breakfast starting at 9 and followed by a service at 10.
If you're headed to any Guilford County High School football games tonight, expect to see tighter security. The district will now have body scanners at entrances. Last Friday, several fights interrupted a deadly high school football game. GCS says the new protection measures aren't a result of the fights and say they were discussed previously. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools has had scanners at its football games since the beginning of the school year.
All right, let's talk sports. Friday means football, and our game of the week takes us to Thomasville tonight. We're getting ready for another Friday football fever with Ledford at East Davidson. That's where we find WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson. She's getting ready for the big game there, Amanda. We're having trouble, might be having difficulty here. We'll keep you posted. Obviously, this game, by the way, I remember the other day we were talking about this, more than 5,000 votes more than any other game. So people in the Triad really wanted this to be that big game of the week. There's Amanda now. Let's see what's happening out there, Amanda.
Oh. Hey, Eric, we are at East Davidson getting ready for our Friday football fever game of the week. They are taking on Ledford tonight. But first, we are here with the band. They were kind enough to let us come crash their practice. So let's see what they're working on.
Band steady. Band stand hut, stand hut. BCO!
They were doing so good. Hopefully we can check in with them a little bit later. But as you can see, a big part of the football game isn't just the players, it's also the band. North Carolina A&T's Blue and Gold Marching Machine is no stranger to the national spotlight. However, this weekend they're making a trip to the Motor City. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey explains why.
Yeah, Lauren, the Blue and Gold Marching Machine is all about putting on a great show. And this Sunday, the baddest band in the land is headed out to Ford Field for week 1 of the NFL season.
It's incredible just to get the recognition on that national stage, performing game, first week of the NFL season. It's amazing.
This weekend, the Aggie football team is headed up to Fargo to take on the #1 ranked North Dakota State Bison. However, the Blue and Gold Marching Machine has a business trip of their own scheduled.
It brings notoriety to our program. It helps with recruiting. It brings national attention to our university. And so it's one of the things that we are looking forward to do is just to showcase what Aggies do on a national stage.
Sunday, week 1 of the 2022 NFL season, the North Carolina A&T band will perform at halftime of the Detroit Lions game as they take on the Eagles.
A lot of long hours on the practice field. Trying to get the show together to put out our best possible product, not only for our fans, but for the people that have never seen the Blue and Gold Marching Machine before. And going to Detroit, a lot of people haven't heard about HBCUs and North Carolina A&T in particular.
But the Detroit Lions and North Carolina A&T have another link besides this Sunday's performance. Second-year general manager for the team, Brad Holmes, is an Aggie as well.
But to see like a black head GM of the franchise, like that's amazing. I've never thought something like that could be even possible. I appreciate him being a great Aggie, looking out for us, trying to put us on that national stage as well.
And the plan is to make sure the entire city of Detroit knows about North Carolina A&T by the time they leave. Detroit isn't the first stop on tour for the Blue and Gold Marching Machine.
2 weeks ago, we were performing in Houston, Texas for the National Battle of the Bands. Last week, we were in Charlotte for the rivalry with North Carolina Central University. And this week, we're in Detroit for another national performance for the Detroit Lions.
But this trip isn't just about the band students who get to perform this Sunday.
So the hard work of the students in the past are now showing in the fruits of their labor. And so the students who are now planting seeds in this band program, that fruit is gonna blossom in the future for others when they come after them.
So what an honor and a privilege to see my fellow Aggies be able to visit the home of another Aggie as well. It's just a great story.
You know, it's funny, that band puts a lot of major university bands to shame because they're just, the sound is incredible. And I always said at some colleges they struggle to keep the band going and keep numbers up. It's an honor to play in that band.
Yeah, everybody knows about North Carolina
Yes.
A&T's band. I just think it's such a great experience for the band members. I mean, they're traveling everywhere. They just were at the Battle of the Bands. So just be able to make those memories with their teammates is awesome.
I mean, if you think about it, there was a movie made about the drum line. I mean,
yeah, it's a different school, but we know that we're talking about A&T, even though it was a different school.
And it is so crazy to see, not only at A&T, but at a lot of other HBCUs, the band is the draw to the football games or whatever event that they're at. So it doesn't matter if it's just an event on the school, on campus, and, you know, they're coming by the union, the band stops and has everybody's attention until they're done.
Some people only come for the band.
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
ready to get up and, you know, start dancing with the drum line.
Right. When we used to have the drum line come in here for the weather garden every now and again, you can't hear a thing. You just walk, it's all just drum.
We need to do that, bring that back. I love them.
We'll do that for the 4 to 5. That would be a lot of fun.
There we go. That's a great idea.
All right, while A&T's band preps for the Lions, everybody getting pumped for the first Panthers game of the regular season. I can't wait. Last night got me in the mood. They're hosting the Cleveland Browns in a home opener that is this Sunday at 1 p.m. We'll have team updates throughout the week, and then you can catch all the highlights Sunday at 11 on WFMY. We are your official home of the Carolina Panthers.
Football isn't the only thing going on this weekend. The Triad is packed with several community events. Here's just a few. Tonight, the North Carolina Folk Festival kicks off in downtown Greensboro. Organizers promise a weekend full of music, food, and appreciation of diverse traditions. Various streets and parking areas will be closed, so if you are heading downtown, leave some time, some extra time. The good times are set to roll regardless of rain or shine.
And don't forget about the Professional Bull Riding Team Series in Winston-Salem. Leaders celebrated the arrival of the new sport yesterday by bringing a live bull to City Hall. The competition runs through the 11th at the Joel. Tickets are as low as $20.
And if you're looking for something with a little less of a kick, you might want to check out the Balloon Festival in Burlington. Organizers say weather could impact the balloons and entertainment. If that happens, they've got a plan in place.
All right, with the Triad packed full of events this weekend, we want to know what you have planned. So I asked you on my Facebook page today, tell me about the weekend plans. Daryl said listening to books, I guess audio books, quilting and knitting. He said, I've been a retired middle school vice principal for 22 years, so weekends aren't really a thing anymore. Don says, I'm working all weekend. Don, so a lot of people feel you on that one. Kay says, making a pot of soup and waiting on the rain. That is a perfect thing to do for a Saturday, Sunday. Stephanie Roan says, do laundry, maybe go to Discovery Place and then put in volunteer hours at the Science Center on Sunday. Carrie said, watch college football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday, so let it rain, and that it will do this weekend.
I'm with Carrie. That's my plan too. Saturday's for college, Sunday is for the pros.
I like soup too. I like whoever
soup?
said
Yeah,
soup. I'll take
sure. Good cold weather. Is that a cold weather food or just a rainy day food? Something like that.
Maybe a cold weather. I mean, I eat soup year round.
I do too.
Oh, okay.
So my wife makes fun of me because I like hot soup. I don't care if it's August, July. Soup is one of my all-time favorites. I don't care what kind either. I like it all. But I'll do that. I'll do that in July. I'll eat hot soup in July. I think it's good. All right, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay there.
Hi, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together. I wasn't sure if I was coming up or not because of the fun music. All right, look at this herb garden. It has each plant labeled, just ready for the homeowner to pick basil or chives or whatever for the night's dinner. Those pictures and those beautiful plants belong to someone at the table.
Who is it?
The gnome.
Would that be? Could that be Tim Buckley?
I believe
Yeah,
it.
these are old pictures. Now it looks all overgrown, but it did look nice at one point.
It did.
And delicious, too.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
your basil's still going.
It's about this tall.
Really?
Yeah.
No joke.
Wow.
Basil's really big at this point, so if you want any, I'll bring in a bag to the
That
station.
would be yes.
You can make
So
some
it
pesto.
was the first time you've ever done that?
I mean, I started it last year.
Okay.
You know, kind of kept it going, and some of
Okay.
them die off in the winter, and some of them survive.
Okay. Well, if you use certain herbs, like Tim does in his cooking and things, there's a push right now for folks to plant their own herb gardens, and here's why. In Consumer Reports testing, roughly a third of the store-bought spices that they looked at contained enough potentially dangerous heavy metals like arsenic and lead to raise concerns when regularly consumed in typical serving sizes. The three most problematic store-bought herbs: basil, thyme, and oregano. Good news is these same herbs are easy to grow, metal-free.
Buy potting soil with a seal from the Organic Materials Review Institute to be sure it's been assessed for heavy metals.
Herbs grow well in separate pots with drainage, so place a few stones in the bottom of a pot that has a hole in it. To dry and store your herbs, wash and dry the leaves thoroughly to avoid mold. Place them in a paper bag for several weeks, then store in an airtight container where they can last a few years. You can speed up the drying process using a toaster oven, air fryer, or even a multi-cooker set on the dehydration function. I know,
Very
there's all these different ways to do that.
Cool.
Now, here's my question. Have you ever dried your herbs?
No, I didn't know you could do that for a couple of years.
For a couple of years. If it's in an
Wow.
airtight container, you know, don't be just leaving them all out there and all that kind of jazz, right?
You're going to get sick.
Maybe that's my problem.
No. All right, one last thing. We all have spices and herbs in our pantries, right? And they are a bottle or whatever else. How long have they been there?
Some of them probably a few years. I've traveled state to state with some of those spices.
Easily years.
Maybe 7 years.
For some of them.
7 years?
I don't know. There is a bottle of like something from grad school, I'm sure, that has traveled with
Okay,
me.
if it's not fermented, you do not keep that. Anyway, so, you know, for a while they say they will last 2 to 4 years, but they say, you know what you should do? Give it the sniff test. Kind of like the milk, right? And if you can't smell the herb or the spice, you got to toss
it's
that
lost
mess.
its potency.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, I got
So
you.
interesting.
The old sniff test.
I would say there are some herbs that taste great dried in the little can from the store, like thyme or something like that's fine. Basil, if you ever get a jar of basil, it's garbage.
Yes.
It does not taste like basil. You have to get that fresh plant to get that good flavor
That's
for
right,
some
and
reason.
cut up those leaves.
And
Yeah, that's right.
sometimes it's cheaper to buy one of those tiny little plants at the store
Yes.
for like $3. Even if you toss it, it's almost cheaper than buying that little.
You're
dried
right.
up-
You're right.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
$2 to $3.
Yeah, because you make all kinds of like Italian foods with
Yes.
the basil.
I do like the basil. It's good for pesto, or just on top of make it
love
look pretty
pesto.
for Instagram.
I like to make a frozen pizza and be fancy and put the basil.
Put the basil
on
on
top.
it, yes.
When I took it from your house, that's what I did with it.
It's aromatic. Yes.
Fancy,
Very good.
friends. All right, we'll be right back.
Friday evening, hope you have some plans. Beautiful weather is here right now. Temperatures so cozy and partly sunny skies. We're in the upper 70s to low 80s right now. Dry air is with us too, but that is going to be going away. Heading into tomorrow, clouds are thickening up as we're sleeping, and then rain is greeting us, unfortunately, right away to start the day. On again, off again showers begin in the morning. They linger through the afternoon and evening. We could even watch for an embedded thunderstorm for Saturday afternoon. Now for Sunday, I think we actually have a better chance of having breaks in the action, but you add up all this tropical moisture from time to time, there could be a couple of areas that have a flood concern. What this graphic tries to show is the levels of flood risk in the country, and we're in a level 2 of that for Saturday, also for Sunday, although it shifts a little bit to our east at that point. So we'll be keeping an eye on you throughout the weekend. Both of those days have that good rain chance, as I said, but Saturday it should last longer throughout the day than Sunday, and that's a little bit of a change. It has picked up speed just a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that flooding as well. Looking at your satellite in the tropics, take a look at this. A huge storm. This is Hurricane Earl. It just brushed by Bermuda yesterday. Now it's kind of chugging along out to sea. You can still see there's a ragged eye with that storm. Winds are at 105 miles per hour, and it is moving quickly too. That storm already a Category 2 hurricane. It'll probably maintain that strength over the next couple of days and then just head out farther into the ocean. Do keep in mind, rip currents have already been bad at our North and South Carolina beaches. That will continue heading into this weekend. So if anybody you know is going to the coast, make sure they're taking that seriously. As far as our forecast goes, the wet weather pattern sticks around into Monday. After that, it starts to dry out and cool down. Cooler mornings on the way Wednesday through Friday. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5.
That is basic. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Did you hear me?
Check 1 2 3 4.
Okay.
Check. Oh.
Yeah, there you go. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Lauren Coleman, WFMY.
My player.
Yes.
So
is that fine?
Yeah, it'll be Cameron. Reason I want to do me first.
Mic check, mic check.
They're not quite back yet.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. I can hear me. Yeah, I have feedback bad.
So I need to send him out here. At 6:15.
Yeah, we'll probably stay here.
Okay.
Who is it again? Sorry,
Cameron
I'm
Garrett.
Cameron
He's number 25. So he's a senior.
The United States fought hard to break free of England. It was a long, bloody war that changed the world. Considering that, I was left wondering why I had such strong feelings when the Queen passed. She ruled a country an ocean away that I've never visited. Nonetheless, it was a tough day for me and many others in America. Sure, we're taught through fairy tales that kings and queens are cool, but it's deeper than that. For the United Kingdom, they lost their leader. For everyone else, we lost another piece of stability in this crazy world. The Queen stayed in the headlines for more than 70 years. She was always a punchline on late-night talk shows, a popular Halloween costume, or a mention in the latest books and movies. Even if you're not a fan of the royal family, the Queen was one of those cornerstones of the world that you could count on. Since 2020, there's not many of those left. At this point, the Queen might tell us to keep calm and carry on, meaning instead of relying on stability from a symbol across the world, we should look inward, focus on what makes us feel stable at home. Whether that's your best friends, a spouse, a job you love, or even the ritual of drinking coffee every morning. Look, the world will keep changing. We can't stop that, but we can control our feelings about it. That's my 2 cents. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
A terrible tragedy in Reidsville. Police say a 10-year-old girl is dead. Her 14-year-old cousin is now in juvenile custody.
This shooting happened last night, and today we learned new details about what happened. WFMY News 2 Sydney Moore talked to police and the neighbors.
The community is mourning the loss of the 10-year-old girl who was shot